All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I want to real quick review with you guys my trade. I took one trade today on PayPal, and it wasn't a perfect trade. My entry wasn't bad, and I had a chance to sell. You guys will see. I'm going to show you the chart, but I did not sell, and I ended up holding through a pullback. But it did work out. So I'm going to flip the camera around here, and we're going to look at the chart, and then we'll just go over some commodity prices and a little bit of news. Okay, so this is the 1 minute chart for PayPal. We're just going to focus on this because this was a quick scalp this morning. But the markets had fallen, right? PayPal even gapped down on the daily. If I showed you the daily chart, you'd be able to see how there was a gap at this opening price. Pretty sure there was a gap. Let me see here. Yeah, so like from the closing price last night, right, this is where we opened here. All right, so it did end up kind of filling the gap, sort of. I mean, not really filling the gap to the closing price, but this was a huge, a huge move down. So I had a feeling we were going to get some bullish momentum. But going back to the 1 minute chart, okay, this is what I traded today, and so I entered my first contracts at 9:30, as you can see right there. And then I averaged down at 9:46, and then at 9:41, and then I was out by 9:53. Okay, and as you can see, my highest price was 218, and I sold them for 225. So I did not lose money on any of the contracts, but I entered right here, okay, and then we got this nice move on this green candle, and I was like, I had pretty nice profit on 4 contracts. I was probably like $200 or $300 up. Well, I didn't take it. I didn't take the profit, and so I held through this chop here, and then boom, we start aggressively selling off. But remember, at 9:46, which is right about here, I start buying more contracts, right? Because I know we're entering this demand zone, and yeah, I'm kind of catching a falling knife at this point. I wish I would have waited, right? This is what I need to do. The reason I entered the trade so early is because we were over the VWAP, right? We were very strong over the VWAP, and there was a there was no supply in sight. But we did kind of form some supply here, and then we aggressively sold off. And then I bought 6 more contracts at 951. Right, at 951. The reason I bought 6 more is because as soon as we fell into this demand zone, buyers immediately bought this dip, and they were showing a lot of interest. So let's see, 951 is this candle right here. So I bought 6 more contracts on this candle, right? So we come up, we pull back a little bit, and I'm a little nervous because, by this point I've averaged down, so I'm about break even on the trade, on this pullback. But, to go from kind of like $200 or $300 in profit to now you're down $200 or $300 on this move, I was definitely nervous about it. I probably shouldn't have held it. I probably should have taken a stop loss right here, or maybe at the low of day, which would have been right there. But I didn't. I held through the pullback because we had demand right here at 290. Now I don't want to ramble too much, but I'm just trying to give you a picture of what it is I'm doing here every day. So we rallied, we pulled back a little bit, and then I guess I just got kind of lucky on this move, and boom! I think it was, what did I say, 959? Yep, 959. I sold all, let's see, I had 12 contracts by that point. I had 12 contracts. I sold all 12 contracts right here. Okay, and the reason I sold here is because we had formed supply, so I did not want to take a chance that this was going to reject, and I was going to be basically screwed. I wasn't going to take that chance because I had already had a chance to sell up here, and I didn't take it, and I ended up holding through a pullback, averaging down, and it worked out. So I did leave probably like another $300 or $400 on the table, but you just can't predict these things. We got a nice move over VWAP. I took it. I took profit. So that was my trade, and I made over $400. It was about $410. It says on my P&L, it says $424, but that's not taking into account options trading fees. And with 12 contracts, it came out to about $410. So this week so far, I'm up over $1,600. It feels good, but tomorrow is Friday, and I got to be careful because I've been giving profits back on Fridays. The last 2 Fridays have been very rough for me, and I do not want to mess up tomorrow because I'm back on my grind. I'm back on a roll. I've got the momentum. I'll probably trade tomorrow, but I'm going to be very, very careful. One more thing I want to say about this trade is that, when I tell you guys that my entries tend to be very early, because I'm real gung-ho to put on a trade. I want to put on a trade and, sell and profit, but it doesn't always work out that way. I really should have waited, even though I could have made a nice profit on this move, getting in right here over VWAP and then bam, selling out on that green candle. Could have even sold out on this wick right here, and I didn't do it. I had multiple chances to sell in profit and I didn't take it. But what I should have done is taken the profit or just not have even entered it, anyways, and then waited for this pullback, waited to see how the reaction was from the buyers. And if I had entered 12 contracts down here instead of 6 of them or 4 of them here, 2 of them here, and then 6 of them down here, if I had entered all 12 down here, right, you can see the profit would have been probably twice as much. It probably would have been like $800 because I'll show you my contracts. Some of them, the first few contracts cost me $218, right? I almost lost money on those, right? I was lucky to get out at 225. Then I bought 2 more at 207, and then I bought 6 more at 165. Those were the contracts that I really made the good profit on. And even though I didn't lose money on any of the contracts, and I also, in hindsight, had I held and kind of maybe held for this move here, right, the contracts were worth like $420 up there. But we just can't predict these things. And it was kind of a chop fest today. On my brother's account, I did take another trade up here somewhere. I think, it was this move right here. I caught this pullback. I saw interest here, and then, I sold up here. So I made a nice profit on my brother's account. But yeah, that's pretty much how I am trading. I basically trade PayPal. It's the only stock I trade. In my opinion, supply and demand is the only thing that moves the market. So that is the main sort of base of my trading style. I am scalping. I use VWAP, but price and volume, those are the 2 main indicators that I use. I also use the SPY and the NASDAQ, the VIX, TLT, but I don't use anything like moving averages. I don't use RSI or MACD because none of that actually moves the market. What moves the market is institutions. I was talking about this in this morning's video. Institutions are the ones that have the buying power or the selling power to really put pressure on the markets and move them. So that's pretty much it. I took some news notes that I could talk to you guys about, but I think what we saw today was just basically worries over global growth because of the Delta variant. I think investors, traders, they're very worried about the growth. Things were a little bit different back in June, back in May, and now I think just the news cycle is starting to get a little bit more dark. So that's why I think we were seeing this. Hopefully for everybody that's in the market long term, hopefully this is just a minor correction, and we're going to make another leg up. Some people are really arguing that the market has kind of broken to the upside now, and this was just a little pullback. But it is possible we could see more volatility to the downside. So, just be aware of that. Try to, be as thrifty as you can with your entries, especially on your long-term positions. The other thing that I think that I wanted to say that I think really affected the market was that, the Fed had said they released their FOMC minutes yesterday, and they basically said that substantial further progress still needs to be made. So, that was kind of bearish. On trading economics, it says Wall Street falls, the Dow Jones tumbled more than 250 points, S&P and NASDAQ we're down 0.5% on Thursday. You had the jobless claims, which did rise a little bit. We had 373,000 new claims for unemployment benefits, so that's not good either. You know, but we also have monetary easing in different countries. China and Australia are going to be letting up on their bond purchasing programs, is what we're seeing in the news. And the thing about that is that you know, the monetary policy globally, it's not all synced up yet. You've got Australia and China doing one thing. You've got the United States kind of still aggressively buying bonds. Yeah, that, you know, we're gonna have to watch the currencies, watch the dollar. The dollar index is still, to my knowledge, I mean, with my notes this morning, because I take notes, you know, every day before the market, so I can kind of understand the macro environment. The dollar is trading at you know, 7-week highs right now. So you have the Treasury yields as well retreating to 1.25%. So the yields are very, very low. People are piling into bonds. Real quick, let's just get some commodity prices. Crude oil and Brent. We've got crude at 73 and Brent at 74. You know, so maybe the downward volatility there might be over. Gold is at 1803, so pulling back slightly, but still holding that $1,800 area. Silver dropped back down to $25.92 as I'm recording this video. So I might try to pick up some more silver this weekend if we can get back down to, you know, $25.80, maybe $25.50, maybe $24.90, right? Copper at 4.2. Actually, we did some coin roll hunting. I've got an ounce of nice shiny copper right here. And you know, about $1.50 makes a pound of copper. I think it's 153 pennies makes a pound, right? And that's $1.50, but the melt value is $4.27. So I'm still stacking copper, still stacking silver, obviously. Got my silver chain on right now. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. You know, where are you putting your money? What are you trading? Do you have any questions about my trading strategy? I'd love to hear back from you guys. Comment down below. And as always, until next time, God bless.